There is a hard truth that the elite and the highest performers in the world will never, ever tell you. Ready for it. They are way lazier than you think. They do not possess a magical, limitless supply of motivation. They do not have more raw willpower than you do. The only actual difference is that they understand how to ruthlessly manipulate a biological resource called cognitive bandwidth. In the next few minutes, we are going to tear down all the garbage self-help advice you have been fed, and we are going to reinstall your mind's operating system. For years, you have been told that to get ahead of 99% of people, you just need to grind harder. Wake up at 4 in the morning. Take ice baths. Punish yourself into submission. But here is the data-backed reality. Willpower is not a strategy, it is a highly exhaustible battery. When you try to while your way through life, forcing a depleted brain to function through sheer discipline, you are not building mental toughness. You are simply triggering a catastrophic biological system collapse. You do not need to fight your brain. You need to outsmart it. If you have ever felt like your own mind is silently sabotaging your goals, listen to me closely. I know exactly what that feels like. Let's look at those highly specific, slightly shameful micro moments we all experience, but never admit out loud. Have you ever opened your refrigerator, stared blankly into it for a solid 10 seconds, even though you were not physically hungry, and then quietly closed it? Or maybe you get a vague text from your boss at 9 o'clock at night saying, "We need to talk tomorrow," and your heart instantly starts pounding against your ribs. That is not absent-mindedness. That is not you being fragile. Those are the exact moments your nervous system is screaming at you, sounding a biological alarm. We live in an attention economy engineered by Silicon Valley to hack your brain. Every notification, every blue light exposure, and every invisible expectation drains your cognitive bandwidth. The hidden cost of this depletion is brutal, and it manifests differently depending on your specific psychological profile. If you are a high-pressure perfectionist, your blind spot is paralysis. You tell yourself you are just waiting for the perfect idea or the right inspiration. That is a lie. Your brain is panicking. It is utilizing a phenomenon called evaluation apprehension to protect your fragile ego from judgment. You are not seeking perfection, your brain is seeking safety by doing absolutely nothing. If you are an avoider, you drown in a sea of cheap dopamine hits. You stay up until 2 in the morning doom scrolling through mindless 15-second videos, not because you are entertained, but because it is the only way your overwhelmed brain can achieve temporary numbness. You scroll to avoid feeling, and if you are a people pleaser, you are an emotional sponge. You drain every last drop of your finite energy, carrying the emotional weight of everyone else, hoping it will buy you safety and validation. The result: you harbor deep resentment and snap at the people you love, most the second you walk through your front door. You see, none of these groups lack discipline. You are just forcing a smartphone with 1% battery life to run the heaviest applications, and you are blaming yourself when the screen goes black. From an evolutionary biology standpoint, this all makes terrifyingly perfect sense. Our brains are essentially running Stone Age software on modern world hardware. Our ancestors were hunter-gatherers. In that harsh environment, conserving physical and mental energy was the ultimate survival skill. The human brain wired to avoid any unnecessary energy expenditure unless there was a direct threat to our lives or a massive, immediate reward right in front of us. To picture what is happening inside your skull right now, imagine there are two very different characters fighting for the steering wheel of your life. The first character is the calm, rational CEO. This represents your prefrontal cortex. This CEO is in charge of long-term planning, logical thinking, maintaining discipline, and curbing your bad habits. The second character is the fire alarm system, representing your amygdala. This is your primitive, emotional brain. When you face chronic stress, when you miss a tight deadline, or even when you just read overwhelmingly negative news, this fire alarm goes off. It starts blaring loudly, flooding your system with stress hormones. And here is the harsh, biological reality. When the fire alarm goes off, it immediately, violently strips the CEO of all control. It literally locks the rational CEO in a room, takes the steering wheel, and hijacks your entire nervous system. At this point, you are thrust into pure, animalistic survival mode. You physically cannot maintain discipline. According to extensive clinical data, this specific phenomenon is known as delay discounting. Delay discounting means that under intense stress, your brain alters its valuation system. It suddenly prioritizes a small, immediate reward, like watching just one more episode, or ignoring a critical email, over a massive future reward, like your long-term health or your career trajectory. Your brain believes you are in immediate danger, therefore, it needs an urgent, massive hit of dopamine to survive the absolute misery of today. Dopamine, in this context, is not a reward. It acts like a predatory loan shark. It tricks you into borrowing against your own future mental health at an extortionate interest rate just to satisfy a fleeting emotional hunger. So, the next time you find yourself paralyzed, staring at a screen, stop beating yourself up. Realize that your inability to focus is not a lack of character. It is simply your brain desperately running a primitive defense mechanism to protect you from catastrophic psychological burnout. So, knowing all of this, where is the actual way out? It is not in blind effort. It is not in watching more motivational hustle videos. Sustainable change comes from knowing exactly how to manipulate your own environment. Do not try to punch above your weight class when you are already completely drained. Apply the behavioral economics principle of cost reversal. You need to make bad habits expensive and good habits cheap. Here are 3 incredibly easy, micro-sliced actionable steps you can take in the next 24 hours, tailored to who you are. Number 1. For the paralyzed perfectionists, apply the 2-minute rule. Your brain is overwhelmed by the big picture, so anything that takes less than 2 minutes to complete, like washing a single bowl or sending a 1-sentence email reply, do it immediately. This physical action acts as a circuit breaker. It blocks the compounding buildup of cortisol, preventing a small spark of stress from turning into a raging psychological fire. Number 2. For the scrolling avoiders, tonight at exactly 9 o'clock, go into your phone settings and switch your screen to grayscale, black and white mode. Right now, your phone is a slot machine designed to hijack your attention. By removing the color, you cut off your dopamine's primary food supply. Your phone will automatically become visually boring, and you will not need to use a single ounce of willpower to finally put it down and go to sleep. Number 3. For the exhausted people pleasers, you need to create a microscopic mental detachment. The next time someone unloads their problems onto you, or demands an immediate favor, do not answer right away. Quietly count from 1 to 5 in your head before responding. That 5-second silence is your boundary. It is the invisible shield that protects your remaining cognitive bandwidth from being stolen. Stop trying to fight your evolutionary instincts. Start redesigning your environment. This content was created for educational purposes based on behavioral research. It does not replace professional medical diagnoses, psychological counseling, or clinical treatment plans. If you saw your own struggles reflected in this video, drop a comment below and share your story. You are not alone in this. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to Mind Insight so we can continue to outsmart the hidden corners of the human mind together. I am Mind Insight, and I will see you in the next one.